Gotta love Kissimmee. The city's smack in the middle of all the action. A lot of great restaurants, too much shopping, and a ton of entertainment to include Arabian Nights, Capone's Dinner Show, the Fun Spot Amusement Park, and if that's not enough, you've got Celebration and, of course, Disney World. And a lot of hotels. And every so often, some of these hotels come up for sale. And if you're a hotel owner, the first thing that comes to your mind is price, which is usually based on the net operating income that your hotel currently produces. And for some sellers, that price just isn't enough. I'm Benny Spensieri of Cresco International and Ferris Global, always bringing you the best in commercial real estate, business, and finance. And I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Commercial Inc., where today I'm going to show you how to capture the highest price possible for your commercial property. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you how to capture a price even higher than market value for your commercial property. So make sure you stick around to the end. So we got a lot to cover in today's episode of Commercial Inc. So we got to get going. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. So I know on every episode of Commercial Inc., I tell you I got something really special for you. But today, I got something really special for you. I'm standing in front of the Clarion Hotel, a 150-unit hotel located on Irlo Bronson Memorial Highway in Kissimmee, Florida. I know there's a lot of hotels on Irlo Bronson Memorial Highway, Kissimmee, Florida. So what makes this one so special? This hotel is being offered as a conversion opportunity. When completed, it will be a 150-room apartment or independent living complex. In fact, this is not just a conversion opportunity, this is a Crest Core conversion. So what's the difference between a conversion and a Crest Core conversion? So a conversion is when you take a commercial building, maybe an apartment complex, a hotel, retail, and you convert it into something more lucrative. For example, an apartment into an assisted living facility, an office complex into a medical facility, maybe a retail center into a medical facility. The goal is to convert one business into something that makes more money. A Crest Core conversion takes it to a whole nother level by adding seller financing, development, property management, and consultation. But before we go any further, let's take a look at this hotel. The Clarion Hotel, located on Highway 192 Irlo Bronson Memorial Highway, just 3 miles from Disney World and right in the middle of all the major commerce and hospitality. This hotel offers 150 rooms situated on approximately 3.5 acres. There are 136 studios averaging 323 square foot each, 14 one-bedroom units averaging 646 square feet. The hotel is 2 stories comprised of 4 buildings, making it a perfect situation for a multi-phased conversion. The building is made of block constructed and built in 1985. Folks, unless we have a major earthquake here in Florida, this building isn't going anywhere. But that's enough of the hotel statistics. Let's talk about some of the fun stuff, like this in-ground heated pool and a sauna. But now that we've been talking about the hotel, it's time to talk about the Crest Core conversion. As you already know, a Crest Core conversion promises to turn one business into a much more lucrative business. In this case, we have a 150-unit hotel. Those of you in a hotel business would expect a hotel in this area to bring in an average of about $100 a night and maybe 70% occupancy. $3.8 million a year gross revenue, 70% expenses, bringing the net operating income to $1,150,000. So where does that leave the property regarding sale price? Well, that depends on the market and the buyer. So for the sake of argument, let's say an investor is going to offer a 9% cap rate price for this hotel. For those of you who don't know about cap rates, you'll have to check out our Commercial Inc. shorts that'll tell you all you need to know about cap rates. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, let's assume the buyer's looking to acquire hotels offering a 9% cap rate. Based on the net operating income, the offer would be around $12,800,000. Not bad. But let's see what happens with a Crest Core conversion where we can turn this hotel into an apartment complex or an independent living facility. Now, I'm a conservative guy when it comes to average rates. I feel more comfortable using $2,600 per month per unit. So with $2,600 per unit, let's see what we got. Now, since we're talking about an assisted living, the expected occupancy is going to be greater than that of a hotel. So the gross revenue of the independent living is already beating the hotel by $650,000. That's not a bad start. But let's take a look at what we got after expenses. So I'm going to use the same expense ratio that I used for the hotel, 70%. So now the independent living net operating income is beating the hotel's net operating income by $185,000. But this is where it gets really interesting. You see, investors will accept a lower cap rate on an independent living or an apartment complex than they would for a hotel. A lower cap rate means a higher price for the seller. Folks, you really got to see the Commercial Inc. short on cap rates. So why do they offer more money as an independent living and an apartment complex than they would for a hotel? Basically, a hotel is a business operation that takes daily management on the owner's part. Also, it's a seasonal business based upon what time of the season it is, and also on an economic environment that's being offered at a certain period in time. So where the hotel investor may offer a 9% cap rate, the independent living investor may offer a 7% cap rate. That's $6.2 million more than what was offered for the hotel. But in the beginning of this episode, I promised I would show you how to make more money for your property when you sold. And you're starting to grow on me. So I'm going to show you how to make more money when you sell your property, and also to continue to make money on your property even after you sell. Sellers, when the banks are offering loans with rates that are astronomically high or not offering loans at all, it's time for you to become the bank. Why? Because investors rely on banks and the leverage they offer and reasonable interest rates. I mean, after all, 30% down is a lot better than 100% down. Wouldn't you agree? But when the banks are being unreasonable, the investors have no choice but to make lowball offers because they're investing all their money into your property. Much better to leverage through the seller financing. Well, we already know how seller financing works for the buyer, but let's see how seller financing works for the seller. Let's say this 150-room independent living has a price of $27 million.
Wait a minute. That's $8 million over the $19 million price point we mentioned.
Folks, everything's negotiable. We don't know where the price is going to land, and I'm not here to argue price with you. I'm just here to show you why a buyer may pay more for a property that offers seller financing. So, if I may continue. Okay, we have a $27 million purchase price. The seller is offering seller financing with 50% down payment, $13,500,000, and he's financing 50%, which is $13,500,000. Well, so far, so good. Let's see how this really works. So the trick to seller financing is to make sure that you offer rate and terms that are better than what the bank are offering, and also to keep the debt service payment below what the net operating income is. After all, the buyer's got to make a profit as well, or else they're not buying your property. So, using our example, the seller financing is applied to $13,500,000. The independent living is netting $1,330,000. So let's see how a 4% interest only works for the buyer and the seller. A 4% interest only rate produces a debt service payment of $540,000 a year. Deduct the debt service payment from the $1,330,000 net operating income, and the new owner is earning $790,000 before tax cash flow. Not bad at all. The buyer got to leverage their money without having to come in with 100% down, and they got a very nice interest-only rate with it. But what about the seller? Well, the seller gets to walk away with $13,500,000 at the closing table, and the seller gets to collect $45,000 a month, every month for as long as they want. That's $540,000 a year for doing nothing. Folks, that sounds like a wonderful retirement plan to me. But why stop at seller financing? Why not add developing to this too? If we added development to this, we would be handing over a complete turnkey apartment complex or independent living to a brand new investor. There's nothing that gets better than that. And fortunately, I happen to have the developer that's handling this whole project right here with us now. Why don't we go out front and meet Mr. Vince Desai. Folks, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Vince Desai, owner of Desai Ventures, a Florida development company. Vince, how are you?
I'm doing great, Benny. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We've been talking a lot about the property and everything, and I'm excited. The apartment living is very popular right now. It's called the work and play area. We got 150 units, very good condition hotel right now. These are larger rooms than some other projects we have.
So what are the average size rooms here?
Close to 400 to about 800.
That's not bad. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vince, what does it usually cost to convert a hotel into an assisted living or an independent living or an apartment complex?
Well, you know, when it comes to cost, obviously, we try to make sure that it's not costing a lot of money to do something. $7 to maybe $8 million, $9 million.
So $8 million to convert this into, in this case, we're doing an independent living or an apartment complex.
Apartments, that's right.
How long would something like this take to complete?
Give it about 6 to 8 months to finish it off. What we do is, in the meantime, we pre-lease. We start that process. So by the time you're done with it and the club ready to move in, we probably have 60, 70, 80% pre-leased.
It's a turnkey operation.
Turnkey, that's exactly what we're looking at. And we may just retain the property, or if you have a good buyer, we'll sell it.
Hopefully for you, they're going to sell it. So Vince, can you show us around the hotel? I'm sure our viewers want to see it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, Benny, this hotel is a two-story, 150-unit property situated on 3.5 acres, right on Irlo Bronson Memorial Parkway. The room range from 323 to 646 square feet, offering very spacious accommodations for affordable apartments or independent living. There are 136 studio units and 14 are the one-bedroom units. There is also 5,000 square feet that is currently the reception and lobby area where we plan to put in salon suites. This is the main lobby area, and it's about 5,000 square feet. And what we plan to do is divide it up into about 12 units. These are the salon suites units. These are rented on a weekly basis.
And you're going to lease these out to chiropractors, masseuses, and all of that. Hey, this sounds like an unbelievable idea. So what does each one get per square foot?
They run from about 90 square feet to 100 square feet.
90 to 100 square feet each? And what do you rent each one for? Just curious.
They go from about 500 to 700 per week. This is a weekly rental.
$500 to $700 per week.
Right.
12 units. That sounds like a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And normally what happens is once you establish your clientele, even though it sounds like a weekly, they never go away.
So Vince, I want to thank you for showing our viewers and myself this beautiful hotel and explaining your conversion process with them. You know, I had an idea. Why stop at this one? Why couldn't we offer these services to other hotel operators out there? In fact, why couldn't we do apartment complexes and retail centers as well? Vince is a developer. We can bring in a business. I think it's a perfect marriage.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to discuss that with you, of course.
So it looks like we got something here, folks. If you've got a commercial property you're thinking of converting, or maybe you want to convert it so you can sell it, maybe you want to convert it so you can keep it, give us a call. We'll be able to help you out. You can call me directly, or you can call Mr. Vince Desai.
Please do, please do. Looking forward to your phone call.
Wow, this was a really great episode of Commercial Inc. You know, being in Kissimmee, Florida, around Old Town and all of this, kind of brings back memories when I first moved down to Florida years ago. It was just an emotional time. I interrupt this episode of Commercial Inc. to bring you some very important news. I'm here in Pompano Beach, Florida, ready to show you our latest listing and to save you from what was going to become a snooze fest from Mr. Real Estate up there in Kissimmee, Florida. You're welcome. I'm standing in front of the Green Life Assisted Living Facility located in Pompano Beach, Florida. This facility has 71 beds, 95% occupied at the moment, and it's getting ready to become somebody's very lucrative investment opportunity. A little history of this facility. The owners are actually multifamily developers who decided they wanted to get into the ALF business. Now, there are a lot of people out there that want to get into the assisted living business. It's not for everybody, but for those that take it on, it could be a very lucrative endeavor. So how do I know so much about this facility? Well, I'm the one that sold it to them. And now I'm getting ready to sell it again to some lucky investor. Could that investor be you? Now, before you all start sending in your offers, let's take a look at this facility. So it's not every day that you get to meet an actual owner of an assisted living facility. But in this case, it's our lucky day, and yours too. Let me introduce you to Mr. Julian Sanchez, the owner of this beautiful facility.
Afternoon, everybody.
Julian, how you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Good, good, good. Our viewers have some questions they'd like to ask you, and that's going to have to be through me. So I'm going to ask you right away. Tell us about your facility.
71 beds here in the heart of Pompano Beach, onshore water. Great facility. We acquired in some troubled circumstances. A lot of work has been done here, from cleaning the entire property, upgrades to roofs, air conditioning units, the rooms, doors, hallways, you name it, fences, the overall aspect of the place.
So this is an excellent facility, and I am going to tell you about the financials, but not on this video. If anybody wants to find out about that good stuff, they'll have to contact me directly. So contact Benny Spencieri at Cresco International. So Julian, you spoke about upgrades, you spoke about all the things you've done to this place. Is there anything special about this place that makes it run effectively?
What's special is our people, our employees.
Employees, okay.
That's what, and that was key to, again, the improvements that have been made. the improvements in the census and the revenue generating capabilities of the property. We have a great team of grounds, housekeeping, cleaning. The right hires have been put in place, the right people have been promoted. It is that keeps this place running.
Well, that's fabulous. In the real estate world, we call this a turnkey operation. So I sure did enjoy spending time with you on this episode of Commercial Inc. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to give you back over to that guy up there in Kissimmee, Florida, who's selling you a hotel conversion. So until then, I'll see you on the next episode of Commercial Inc. Take it away up there. No, you won't be seeing any of my viewers on another episode of Commercial Inc. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I just got down to Florida. I'm cruising up and down Irlo Bronson and Kissimmee, and...
Hey, Benny, how's it going down there in sunny Florida?
Now who is it?
It's me, Kirk, your partner in South Carolina. If you don't mind, I'd like to borrow your audience for just a bit to show them my newest listing.
How long is it gonna take?
I promise I won't be as long as the Hawaiian shirt guy was.
Well, all right. Folks, I'd like to introduce you to Kirk Leapart, who's heading up our Cresco International expansion into South Carolina. Kirk is handling all our commercial real estate transactions up in South Carolina. If you have any commercial real estate that you'd like to sell, list, buy, whatever you want to do, Kirk's your man. Make sure you give him a call. Take it away, Kirk.
Hello, everyone. Real quick, I just want to show you a really great property I have for sale in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and a great opportunity for you. Property is located at 125 Dillon Drive, Spartanburg, South Carolina. First floor has approximately 9,800 square feet. The second, about 7,000 square feet. It's a lower level parking garage. Both can be converted into a number of options. The zoning will stay the same. It's approximately 55-bed assisted living facility is one option. Second option is a surgery center. It is located almost adjacent to the Mary Black Campus Hospital SMC in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I do have a motivated seller. Well, that's all I got. Back to you, Benny.
Okay, getting back to my story. I just arrived in Florida, was coming to Kissimmee, and... Wait, what do you mean I don't have any more time? This is my show. I don't have any more time. Can I get 10 more seconds? All right. Well, folks, as usual, it's a pleasure to have you on our episodes of Commercial Inc. We covered a lot today. We covered conversions, we covered seller financing, and a lot of exciting things. I'll just have to wait and see you on the next episode before we can cover anything else. So until then, you have a good day. And by the way, stick around till after the credits. Nobody's telling me I can't have time on my show. Hello again, everyone. For those of you who don't know, we usually throw in a little something extra at the end of our show. Usually something like bloopers, some fun stuff for our viewers, just for some fun and kicks. But since we started Commercial Inc., we started getting an influx of questions regarding real estate and business matters, and we thought we'd take some time to answer these questions. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. All right, question number one from Sam P. from Orlando, Florida. I own hotels in Florida and other states. I'm thinking about selling some of these and putting some money into other types of investments. What do you recommend? Well, the first thing, Sam, thanks for contacting me. The other thing is I recommend going into a 1031 exchange. So a 1031 exchange will allow you to defer your capital gains that you earn when you sell your property and put it into another like-kind investment. So I'm not a 1031 exchange intermediary or expert in any way, but fortunately, I know somebody who is. Whenever I have a client that needs 1031 exchange assistance, I send them right over to Janet Sham of Old Republic Title and 1031 Exchange. She's an intermediary and an expert in the field. You can contact Janet anytime. She's waiting to hear from you. Regarding your other question about other types of investments, my recommendation would be to look for a passive income style of investment. As a hotel owner, you're probably running your business every day. Passive income properties allow you to earn income without having to run the property. So some examples would be apartment complexes, retail, medical offices, other professional offices, maybe industrial, whatever. Just make sure that you earn a nice income without having to work so hard. Question number two, Sarah G. from Franklin, Tennessee. Hi, Benny. I subscribe to your channel and I love Commercial Inc. I just got my real estate license, is wondering what is the best way to get into the commercial real estate business. Hi Sarah, I'm glad you're loving the show. Usually residential agents will work residential for a number of years before they get into commercial, which I like this approach because it gives them a chance to get their feet wet. They get to do contracts, they get to learn how to negotiate and communicate and close some deals and make some money. Also, make sure you join a company that provides leads and provides mentoring and training. You really need this because it could take anywhere from 5 to 10 years to become a successful commercial agent. Now, I don't want to brag about my company, Cresco International, but we happen to offer some really great training where our agents can get up and running in about 6 months. Question number 3 from Ronald P. out of Miami, Florida. I'm a subscriber of Commercial Inc. and I love the way you present the properties your company is selling. I've got some property I'm thinking about selling and I'd like to have it presented in the same way. Hi, Ron. As much as I'd love to take credit for all of the Commercial Inc. episodes, I have to give about 90% of that credit to Gouda Media and Jerome Rivas, owner of Gouda Media. Gouda Media makes sure that all of our properties are shown off to the T, that my lines don't get flubbed, and also that I come off looking great in every episode. Ron, if you'd like to get in touch with Gouda Media, you can contact Jerome Rivas directly. If you'd like to get your property on an episode of Commercial Inc., you can contact me directly. Question number 4. Juan S. from Charleston, South Carolina. Loving Commercial Inc. My partners and I are searching for commercial real estate deals, and we want to know where we can find the best deals. Thanks, Juan. We're loving Commercial Inc. too. We have a lot of investors in our database, and a lot of them join the Preferred Investor Program exclusive to our company, Cresco International. This gains them access to off-market properties and properties that get to them before they become listed properties. So this is a good thing to get first dibs on every property that comes out. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get the lowest price. So a lot of our investors get fixated on price when there's other areas of a transaction that they can look at that adds value to a property. For example, let's take a seller that says, I need to get $2 million. I'm not taking a nickel less. You made him an offer of $1.6 million, all cash, quick close, still turned it down, wants his $2 million. If you walk away from that property, the seller one day is probably going to sell it to somebody else because eventually they'll come down in price. So you're going to offer him seller financing with 30% down, 5% interest, and probably a 5 to 10 year loan. Now you have just added some value where maybe the $2 million makes sense for you to make an offer, or maybe you come in at 1.8 or 1.9 with that seller financing scenario. The point is not to get fixated on price. Look for other ways that you can make a deal happen. That's what a lot of smart investors do. Last question from Sally S. out of St. Petersburg, Florida. I watched one of your videos on mobile home parks. Great video. Do you think mobile home parks are a good investment? You seem to think so in a video. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for the compliment. Mobile home parks do make a great investment. Now that you watched the video, you understand that the expense ratio is exactly opposite that of other passive incomes, and this is why mobile home parks have a greater return. But just because mobile home parks are great investments, that doesn't mean they're the only investment. You have other passive income properties such as apartment complexes, retail, offices, anything that collects enough income where you get a proper return and you don't have to work the property that hard. Makes a great investment. So I want to thank Sarah, Sam, Ronald, Juan, and Shelly for sending in their questions. Can't wait to hear from the rest of you. Send in your questions. We'll get them answered on future episodes of Commercial Inc. Until then, see you on the next episode.